Welcome to Movie Magic 96, your one-stop shop for all things movies. From reviews to unboxings and collections, I'm here to celebrate the magic of cinema. Now, let's roll the film. Today we're checking out the highly anticipated Scream 7, the newest entry in the iconic slasher franchise. So, let's get slashing. Scream 7 is directed by Kevin Williamson, who wrote the original Scream from 1996 and its sequel Scream 2. This marks his first time directing a film in the franchise. This entry follows Scream 6, but the road to release was anything but smooth. Behind the scenes shakeups included directors Matt Bettinelli open and Tyler Gillett not returning, Christopher Landon briefly attached before exiting, Melissa Barrera being fired from the project, and Jenna Ortega confirming her departure soon after. With those exits, the film shifts focus back to legacy characters. We see the return of Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott Evans and Courteney Cox as Gale Weathers, along with new additions and some AI-assisted legacy appearances. This is truly a blend of nostalgia, modern horror, and franchise confusion. Before I get into it, quick disclaimer. I had a rough theater experience with teenagers reacting loudly to everything, so hopefully that didn't color my opinion too much. The cold open with superfan Scott and his girlfriend Madison was a strong start. I love the meta angle about staying in the Mocker house, which you can actually do in real life since it's an Airbnb. The animatronic Ghostface gag was fantastic, and when the real Ghostface is watching Madison in the background and fades away, it gave me the Strangers 2008 and Michael Myers vibes. The final trick question referencing Friday the 13th was a perfect callback to the original. Scott's brutal horizontal knife kill through the head was gnarly. Madison being tricked into falling onto the blade, smart, but unfortunately spoiled in the trailer. Burning down the house felt symbolic, setting fire to the past, though it did give me Halloween Kills callbacks. The dynamic between Sydney and her daughter Tatum is one of the film's strongest elements. It mirrors Sam and Tara in Scream 6, also Laurie and her son in Halloween H2O. I thought Kevin Williamson's writing was pretty good here. Moments like Tatum wearing Sydney's leather jacket from Scream 2 turned into full character studies. I wasn't crazy about Sydney working retail. I preferred her crisis counselor role in Scream 3, but I understand they couldn't do the same thing with the character. The walking to school scene felt like a Halloween 1978 homage. Matthew Lillard returning as AI Stu was fun, but it would have hit harder if it wasn't spoiled. His first line, "Surprise, Sydney," was pure nostalgia. Seeing AI recreations of legacy characters is a clever way to bring back the past without undoing deaths, though I could have done without Dewey's appearance. If we're going alternate killers, someone like Jill Roberts would have been more interesting in that final act. The kills are inventive and brutal. Hannah's chest slice with her organs exposed was wild. Chloe's restaurant bottle shard kill was creative due to the location the characters are set in, and Lucas's beer tap impalement easily my favorite. Beer and blood pouring through his mouth, now that's memorable. The restaurant scene extending into the street and into the coffee shop was a great way to extend the scene. Often those sequences end too quickly, though it did feel like something Williamson had already done in I Know What You Did Last Summer 1997. I really appreciated how the film embraces modern tech instead of ignoring it. Sidney records the first Ghostface call, Chad uses the house cameras to look for how Ghostface entered the house, Tatum FaceTimes Sidney while learning how to fire her gun, and uses AirPods in so she can use both her hands, which was a smart detail. Horror often avoids phones, this film leans into them. Here's where things get mixed. Introducing a killer an hour in, similar to Mrs. Voorhees in Friday the 13th, is bold. Speaking of Marco, possibly the weakest Ghostface in the franchise. He feels like an afterthought, especially after Sidney kills him quickly with a gunshot to the head. Jessica's motive, inspired by reading her book, just feels like an afterthought. These killers could have existed in any of the Scream films, so it didn't feel like an epic conclusion. That's the tricky thing about Scream. Unlike Michael Myers, who doesn't need a motive, Ghostface always does. Still, the final moment of Sidney and Tatum repeatedly shooting Jessica in the face was one of the most violent kills in the franchise. If Matthew Lillard's return hadn't been spoiled, and if this had released on the 20-year anniversary instead of the fifth film, I honestly think fan reception would have been stronger. The reveals are the weakest part, but I like seeing Sidney evolve as a character into a mom, and the kills plus callbacks were great. I can't do a definitive ranking since I haven't watched all of the films recently, but Scream 1996 and Scream 2 remain the best, Scream 3 and Scream 2022 sit at the bottom, and Scream 7 in the middle tier with 4 and 6. My film rating is a 3.5 out of 5. What did you think of Scream 7? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram at MovieMagic1996. Thanks so much for everything, and go watch a Scream movie today.